Alright, let's go over this real quick. I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible and get to the numbers and the data at the bottom, which is going to absolutely blow your mind. So yeah, if anybody doesn't know what Peeker's advantage is, it is basically camera or being camera or whatever the new kids call it. That's what they call it. They call it a skill, but it's really not. You're exploiting the tick rate and the latency variations in the server to get an advantage over your enemy. So this is going to show you here. I'm going to show you real quick first and then get to the good stuff. This is the player, the peeker, coming around the corner. This is the holder, the person that's already looking at the angle. The peeker comes around. He's not even around on the holder screen yet. You see this? So the peeker has this much time to think, react, shoot, do whatever he wants, and he's not even around the screen yet on the player that's looking here. That's how much of an advantage it is. So this is going to show you about that and how much it affects wins in every match, in every shooter game you play. And it's absolutely insane. There's really no point to play when you see what this actually says, but we still do for practice and whatever. I just want to say real quick, the first time I noticed this was years ago on Black Ops 2. I was playing my friend. My friend said he wanted to play. He never plays the game. He has like a 0.2, 3, or 4 KD. Complete trash at the game. He never plays it. He loves video games, but he never plays them. He works all the time. He hops on one day. He's like, hey, you want to play? It was on Black Ops 2. And I'm like, okay, I'll play. He's absolute trash. He'd come over and play at my house and was absolute trash, would never get kills, nothing. So he's at his house, and he got the game, and he wanted to fucking play it, so we hopped on. We were going to party up, play on a team. He was at his house. He only lives a mile away. A mile away is not any fucking distance to cause latency issues or peeker's advantage. So he got on, and somehow it put him on the opposite end of the team. And he got put on the opposite team, and I ran into him on the side of the map. It was on like I think it was Favela, one of those maps like that. No, I think it was Havana actually. Yeah, it was on the side of the Havana map. He came on the side of Havana and came around a corner, and I shot him first, and I got absolutely deleted. And it happened about 10 more times in the match, and I couldn't kill him at all once. It was absolutely insane. And it was then that I started researching this stuff and studying it when I was younger, and I was like, this is wild. Like, how can we be a mile apart and he can come around the corner and delete me so easy? Which, this ain't about skill-based damage or anything, but it kind of like points to that as well, because you got a 0.3 KD player deleting a player with like a 2 KD. I had like a 2 KD back then or something every single time, every gunfight. But Peeker's advantage is also the cause for this. So you got that and that system in this shitty game that we play, Call of Duty. And it's absolutely insane. Call of Duty runs at 20 hertz. Other games run at 60 to 80 to 128 hertz, so they're 5 to 6 times faster than Call of Duty servers, and they're more accurate. And these studies that I'm about to show you are ran on, higher tick rate servers, not the trash 20 hertz servers Call of Duty's on, which makes Call of Duty even worse than what these numbers are going to show you, and it's going to blow your fucking mind. So yeah, so my buddy would delete me every time, but when he'd come over, he doesn't. So I was like, something's going on here. Is it the host advantage, which has Peeker's advantage too? Is it that, or is it like the server tick rate? I didn't even know what tick rate was at this time. I was like 20 years old or something. I don't even remember how old I was, but I was pretty young. So like, I was like, I didn't even know what tick rate was, but was it that or this? But this is going to show you. And so you go down, and I'm just going to brief over some of this real quick before I get to the good stuff. You go down, and this is the peeker's time, the server's time, and the holder's time. And now I post videos on this stuff sometimes, and people don't understand it, so that's part of the reason I'm posting this, to kind of educate the people that don't know. The peeker has this much available reaction time. This isn't his reaction time. This is how much reaction time he has to react. So he has this much time. He moves into view, and by the time the holder sees him, the holder only has half the amount of time he has to react available before he dies after the peeker fires a shot. So the peeker sees him, fires a kill shot. By the time it reaches the holder only has this much time between he sees the peeker and before he has a chance to fire a shot. So the holder is at a disadvantage of over half. He's like, his disadvantage is cut in half. It's insane. Like, he has no chance of killing this guy. And this is going to show you in even more depth in a second and how much it dictates every gunfight in game. And it's absolutely insane. So let's scroll down here. And then it talks about buffering here. Buffering is the crazy part, right? This is one of the crazy parts with lag. And how lag also gives players an advantage. People say low ping gives you an advantage. That's bullshit. It does to some extent on certain scenarios, but there's scenarios where a higher ping gives you a massive advantage, and this is one of them. I'm going to explain it real quick. All right, buffering. Here we go. Packets often arrive late, or sometimes not at all. If the simulation was running against the newest available data, it would frequently find itself waiting on late or missing data and be forced to predict what happened instead. That's what buffering is. Mispredictions cause the server and client simulations to be out of sync, which leads to visual artifacts where characters pop or slide around in order to resync the simulation. That's where you get players moving around real fast. They look like they're moving faster than what they should because they are. They're harder to shoot, they're harder to hit, which gives them an advantage. So that high ping gives you an advantage there. This sort of artifact goes against the goal of smooth movement, and buffering smooths it out, whatever. You can read all this. I'm going to link it down there. This shows where the buffering happens and where these issues can happen. But let's scroll down to the good stuff, and here goes a bunch of equations here for people who like math. So you can go through this. You'll be able to go through this carefully. I'm not going through all this. It's pointless. This is where they're trying to fix the peeker's advantage on their servers. Valorant has the best servers of any game available. And their system that they have reduces peeker's advantage by from 141 milliseconds of peak advantage down to 53. So you can go through all this and get an idea of it. But this ain't what this is about on their game. This is about this in every game. This is how it works. So we go down, and this is where they did their study. They did this study on their servers, which is absolutely insane. So they ran some experiments. They ran several pairs of our higher skilled, evenly matched players through days of peeking scenarios. The holding player secretly picked a location to hold, and the peeking player at the time of their choosing peeked out from a known corner to start the fight. We tested a cross-day matrix of different server tick rates, network latencies, client frame rates, and weapons. What we found was, at the highest tier competitive play, the differences between player reaction times become razor thin. So when you got two players that are on similar skill, the reaction times are very similar. That's what that's saying. The difference between winning and losing a gunfight in our experiments often came down to 20 to 50 milliseconds. That's talking about, 20 to 50 milliseconds in peak advantage. So even though the play tests were blind, players weren't told what conditions each round was running on. Skilled players were able to accurately identify small changes. 10 milliseconds to peeker's advantage. Differences of 20 milliseconds felt very impactful to those players. So this is something that I see all the time when I play. I can feel it immediately. I immediately know when someone has peeker's advantage. And I post videos on this stuff all the time. People don't understand it. I try to write it in the title, whatever. But So now this part is crazy. For evenly matched players, a delta of 10 milliseconds of peeker's advantage made the difference between a 90% win rate for the player holding an angle with an operator and a 90% win rate for the opponent peeking with a rifle. That means that 90% of every gunfight in the game, when people come around corners, is determined by a latency variation that shows you right here of 20 to 50 milliseconds. The peeker's advantage directly dictates the outcome 90% of the time of who wins the match in the gunfights. And it's absolutely insane. Like, there's literally no point to fucking play the game. And this is on higher tick rate servers where they got this data. So imagine what the data is on, 20 hertz servers, which are complete fucking trash and rubbish and slow. They're 5 to 6 times slower than these, even though they tested on different tick rates. It's still insane. Even at the highest tick rate, the test, it's still 90%. So you got, every gunfight in the game, not talking about skill-based damage, is fucking 90% off peak advantage. So there's no skill in that. Less than 10% is skill. Literally less than 10% of the game is skill. 90% is latency and peak advantage. But we still play it because some of us still have fun. We do whatever. We don't give a fuck. We do it to practice. I do it for YouTube. I do it for to practice for sports. I think it's a good brain workout for mental cognition. That's why I play a lot of shooter games. I got my my PC here. I play Counter-Strike and shit on that. I only play this game on Call of Duty on console just so I can get videos for YouTube with the aim assist issues and shit like that. I would switch to PC, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep pushing these videos out to hopefully we make change. But unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna have to buy Modern Warfare 3, unfortunately, or borrow it from somebody, hopefully, so I can make more videos. Because the whole goal here, showing you this now and everything else, is to make change and hopefully get better servers. Hopefully Microsoft gets better servers because the tick rate is absolute trash and the peak advantage is insane. Like, there's a lot of times where I die before I can even react to players. And if you look here, the average reaction time of a person is 273 milliseconds. Alright, so that's the average reaction time of a person. I have a average reaction time of 182 milliseconds. Down here, 177 milliseconds, 180. It all depends. It gets slower, higher in the day depending how awake you are or tired you are. So the reason for showing you that is there's often times where the peak advantage is so bad. I'll be aiming right here, just like in this video. I'll be aiming, and I will literally die before I can even react to a player. There's no fucking way that that's even playable. And that's why I make these videos, and hopefully we can get change. If I have 170 or 80 millisecond reaction time, and the gun's TTK is 200 milliseconds, how the fuck am I dying before I can react? You see what I'm saying? And to make it worse, it gets way worse than that sometimes. Like, you got this player coming around the corner here. They have time to come around the corner, think, which their average reaction time, let's go by averages. Let's say they have a 270 millisecond reaction time. They come around the corner, it takes them 270 milliseconds to react. They ADS, which takes another 200 milliseconds. And then they fire, which takes another 200 milliseconds to kill on the TTK time. So that's 600 milliseconds, right? But on me, I'm over here with 180 millisecond reaction time, aiming at this angle, and I die, so fucking fast that even though I'm already pre-aiming and I'm already there, which cuts my time to react all the way down because I'm already set up aiming at the guy, I still fucking lose because it's so fast. The peak advantage is so bad. That's what this data in this survey this experiment shows you. 90% of the time is dictated by the peak advantage. So I'm aiming here, 180 milliseconds, and then I shoot him. My TTK is like maybe 200, so that's 400. He's got 600 milliseconds of time, and I'm dead before the 400. It doesn't make no sense, and that's what this is showing you. Like, there's just no. It's physically impossible to beat this unless you get lucky and pre-fire the angle, or you get a one-hit kill weapon that happens to hit him, and you get in that little reaction time window that you have to kill him. It's physically impossible. It's physics. It's literally physics and relativity. It's Einstein shit. Like, that's why netcode has so many problems and on games, because it's literally fucking Einstein's relativity basically down into computers. Like, you have time and relativity where the netcode is trying to balance it out and get everything right. And you're in 2 different time zones in the world, and you got players with higher pings coming in. The shit gets so weird down on this level that shit like this happens. So that's why I'm posting this out here. So hopefully you understand it. And a lot of these, I'm getting a lot of new bots and smooth brains in my videos that are coming in on the Modern Warfare 3 algorithm on YouTube, and they're just so stupid. And they don't read the titles on the videos. They don't know what aim assist is when it's warped and what's going on. And so I'm putting this educational stuff out here to hopefully help you out, because it'll be linked in the description, so you'll be able to get it. But yeah, like, I know many of y'all have had this countless times you're playing. A lot of you, some of y'all are new players. You'll be laying down ADSing at a door or something, and you have like a massive advantage over the guy because you're laying down ADSing. He has time to come around the corner, turn, which takes 200 milliseconds, react, which takes 200 to 300 milliseconds, shoot, which takes 200 milliseconds to kill, but on your screen, you fucking die instantly, even though you're already aiming at the fucking door. Like, you have a massive advantage. You don't have to turn and adjust, which takes time and all that. You're already fucking aiming. All you got to do is shoot and hit him. And you're going to kill him in the TTK time with maybe a few extra milliseconds on, adjusting that tiny bit of aim where he comes through that little door. But you're at a massive advantage. You're cutting down your milliseconds that short because you're setting up to get the drop on him. But because of his peak advantage, he has time to come around, think, turn, react, shoot, and then ADS and do all that. It's just unreal that the data shows 90% of the gunfights are dictated by that. And that's what I've been saying all along on the lag videos and the peak advantage videos. I mean, I hope you see this and you understand what this is saying, because this is just fucking, it's unreal. 90%. 90%. There's literally no point to play. But we do play because some of us want to play for whatever reason. But this is why tournaments are held on LAN. This is exactly why tournaments are held on LAN. Because you don't have this problem on LAN. There's no fair environment when you play online. It's not fair at all. It's 90% unfair, and it just showed you right here. 90 fucking percent. So yeah, I mean, the only true way to play these games of any measure of skill in any way to fucking... There's literally no skill to play these games online because of this. It's all dictated by the server, by the latency, by the peak advantage. And we're not even going to get into the fucking EOMM and skill-based damage systems, but it's literally no fucking point to play. So hopefully we can get this out and fucking make progress and make some change and get better servers on these games. Because it's fucking miserable to play and die before you can even react to players. It's just... It's exactly why tournaments are on LAN, because they don't have that problem. And if you go and look on Twitter, you see the pros on there complaining about when they had to play during the pandemic online on a tournament. They were literally complaining about the tick rate and the hit reg and the peak advantage. And there was a team, I forgot what team it was, but they literally said they didn't deserve the win. They won the tournament, and they said they didn't deserve it because their enemies, the tournament competitors, their enemies, their shots were not registering correctly, or they didn't even react to them shooting them. And it's just fucking stupid. Like, it's just ridiculous that the tick rate's this fucking bad on Call of Duty. And it's 2023. And you got games with tick rates that are 5 to 6 times faster. It's just absolutely insane. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this, so hopefully we can fix this. This is the game Valorant, and it's made by Riot Games, and they did this study, and yeah, this game has the best server systems of any game out right now. And if we could get something like that, oh my god, people would be in a rude awakening. People that lag through bullets and all that, man, their egos would get absolutely destroyed. Because they're not used to that. They think they could just run through bullets and peak advantage people all day and think they're good at the game, but they're really not. They're just running through shit, running through bullets, coming around corners, killing players before they can react. I mean, I'm sure some of y'all have had games like that. You have those games where you're running and it seems like no enemy shoots back at you. That's what's fucking happening here. Like, you have that at peak advantage in that server. You're running through, no enemies are shooting back at you. It's too easy. That's what this is. That's what this is showing you. And if they ever get better servers and get some of those scummy systems out the game, better netcode, there's going to be a lot of hurt fucking egos out there. A lot of hurt players. Because they're not going to be as good as they think they are. Like, I can go on any other game right now other than Call of Duty, a shooter game, and enjoy the fuck out of it and have none of these fucking peak advantage issues hardly at all like I do in this game. It's just so bad in this game. It's absolutely insane. And over time, I mean, that's why I've trained my fucking brain to react 100 milliseconds faster than the average population, because I have to deal with this shit so fucking much playing it. I'm trying to eat through it and get past it. And that's just what happens over time when you play so much. But you jump into a LAN environment or a fucking good tick rate server, you're going to have a lot of hurt motherfuckers in there. Because they're going to be like, oh, am I really this bad? I mean, it's just, it's wild. Like, there's a YouTuber, and I'm going to post his video shortly after this one, of this YouTuber named I'm Jor. This motherfucker lags so fucking bad. Every match he's in, he drops like, he gets like 100 kills a game and gets like 4 to 5 nukes a game. He doesn't call in one nuke. He goes past that one nuke and keeps getting kills. And he has videos of getting like 4 or 5 nukes in one game. I'm sorry, but there's only one fucking way you're doing that. And it's not by being good at the game. It's by running through fucking bullets and not taking damage. So I'd see these players in my servers all the fucking time. And I was like, okay, well, there's something going on with this dude's account, so I challenged him to a 2v1, him and his buddy, because his buddy it was the same issue with them. And sure enough, it was exactly like I fucking thought, and wait till you see the fucking video when I post it. It just proves this right here, what I was saying as well. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, so you're going to see that one shortly after this. When it pops up, that's what that's about. It's a 2v1 that I got. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully y'all get this and figure this shit out, cuz we got to do something about this. And it's a pretty interesting read though, if you want to go through and read all this. It's actually pretty cool. Now, I know I could play this game on my PC here that I built, and I could be at a bit of an advantage playing on that, but that's not what this is about for me playing. I don't play this game to be in an advantage or beat everyone's ass in it. I play it to make these videos to exploit the issues with it. That's why I'm still on controller playing this dog shit. But when I could go on PC and fucking have a whole different game and probably get worse hit reg issues though, because it'd be scripted even more with the SBMM system and all that. But yeah, yeah. But anyways, y'all take care, and y'all watch out for those bots in the comments. A lot of the casuals coming in, and make sure y'all set them straight with the facts if they pop up. And I'll catch y'all later.